Welcome back, travelers. During the last stream, the developers showed us quite a few characters that I would like to discuss with you. And today, the topic of our video will probably be one of the most mysterious and interesting characters. Of course, I'm talking about the Elder of the Sabah, the witch Alice, in the sense that she appeared in the preview of The Edge. And immediately, the players on the forums began to discuss her possible appearance in the game, which is not surprising since the developers themselves, one might say, officially announced her to us. So make yourself comfortable. Today we will analyze these rumors and find out whether it will become a game, and also when in theory it can come out, it will be useful and very interesting. Let's start by remembering the little we know about Alice herself. After all, it's been a long time since we've heard anything about this character. Let's start with the fact that she is a strong and freedom-loving person who was previously one of the legendary adventurers, which is why she travels a lot. Top-up crystals from lootbar.gg. It's 100% safe and secure top-up platform for games like Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. With PS5 and Xbox players can also. Raiden Shotgun and Teviat Times are using for crystals. Save up to 25% of actual in-game price and get 10% discount coupon. Go to Lootbar, then Genshin Impact. Choose a pack, put UID, and select region and pay. Get double the currency for first-time in-game top-up. Link description and pin comment. Even outside her home world. Yeah, and again, we came to the conclusion that all the worlds of Hoyo are connected. Oh, these multiverses. So she is not only an adventurer, but also Klee's mother, and what's more interesting is that she holds the position of Elder of the Witches' Coven and is also the creator of that very guide to Teyvat. And I hope you've read all 3 volumes of what's in the game, right? You must admit, it seems like Alice is Alice, Klee's mother and so on. But behind her, there is such a powerful personality hiding, more serious than Rain and Dainsleif. Almost like a queen, no less. Well, now let's move on to appearance. And just recently, the developers of Nod-Krai finally showed us exactly what it will look like. Well, of course, not exactly, but they still showed the general appearance. They did a great job of it because they presented her the way we all imagined her. She looks very much like Klee, and in principle, she looks quite logical, which is, at the very least, a huge rarity for Genshin's characters. In general, what I'm telling you, you can see for yourself in this image. Agree, more or less, this is how we imagined her. Well, now let's move on to an equally interesting point. Namely, let's try to figure out whether it can become a game and when, in theory, it has a chance to come out. And here we have everything quite interesting because the developers, judging by what was shown on the stream and what has been happening in the game for some time, have closely taken up developing the story with the witches Sabah and even showed us Alice in the preview of the new region. Well, and these events can be assumed we will be able to see Alice in the game for the first time already in Node Edge. And based on this, we can assume that it could become playable around the middle of the 6 patches over the Edge. But this is inaccurate, since after all this is a character from Shaba, and the developers may well make her a kind of off-screen assistant who will guide us through the new region. But still, since we were shown the official image of it, I think that it can still become a game, or at least they will just show us a model of it in the game's plot. Well, as for the element, you don't need to go to Mona to find out. She's most likely going to be a pyro character in theory, just like Klee, since it's obviously reflected in her design. But regarding the signature, on the one hand, it is unclear, but on the other hand, everything is much simpler than it seems, because she is a witch, and all the witches in the game seem to be catalysts. And it would be strange, for example, if the same Alice had 2 arms. But looking at the same Elden Ring, which often inspires the developers of Genshin, there is, for example, the sorceress Rennie, who has a 2-handed moon sword, and here it is still unclear. In principle, Alice can have anything she wants. At this point, we can only guess. Well, that's how things are. Are you waiting for the release of the game, Alice, or someone else from the Sabah? Be sure to write about it in the comments. Well, it will be interesting to read what you think about her sign, namely, what it will be like and why exactly you think so. And we will hear from each other again.